Hi, it's Maggie the Irish Gypsy here to bring you your April 2022 mid-month general reading. We are looking at the last 2 weeks of April, and this reading is for the earth sign of Taurus. Welcome everyone. Hope you're all doing well, and as always, thanks for taking the time to be here to watch these videos, liking, sharing, subscribing, supporting, feedback. Those of you who reach out for personal readings, both for yourself and for gifts for other people. It is all greatly welcome and all appreciated. Thank you. Okay, Taurus, this is for you for the last 2 weeks of April 2022. That's if your sun, moon, rising, or Venus sign is in Taurus. It's also relevant if you're cross-watching for a Taurian. It's going to resonate a little differently for everyone, of course. It's a general reading. So if you know all your signs, sun, moon, rising, and Venus, watch them all because each one can bring in a little additional insight and perspective into what's going on in your life. And if you find that something does resonate with you enough that you'd like to reach out for a personal reading, perhaps take a deeper dive into something for yourself or as a gift for someone else, feel free to email me directly at maggie1mcguire@gmail.com. I'd be delighted to hear from you. And I can usually respond within the same day with more information. I do offer a wide variety of readings in all areas of life, and I do try to schedule in as timely a fashion as possible. So if you're interested, send me an email. You can also get that contact details, my email address, by clicking on the description link below, that little arrow. Okay, Taurus, let's see what the last 2 weeks of April are holding for you. I am using the Tarot of Dreams, clarifying with the Gilded Tarot. We begin with a bit of a toxic cycle energy here with the Devil. Now, the Devil can represent a lot of things: addictions, classic addictions, toxic relationships, codependence. The Devil represents something which in and of itself might not be unhealthy, but over time there's too much of a level of obsession around it, so it enslaves and entraps you by allurement, meaning that there's something tempting in it, and when you try and break away from it, it's very difficult because there's something in you that tells you you need it, right? And it's circular. It keeps going around and around and around again, which is the nature of obsession and addictions. It typically represents a cycle that's toxic or even at its mildest, not healthy. With the Devil, we have the Four of Coins, the Miser card. Now, this can represent hoarding because you feel like you don't have enough, or somebody who doesn't want to share, whether it's financially, material, or even emotionally, or a combination of all of those. Typically, it shows up as energy for somebody who's lost in the past, and so they're super tight and super careful about not losing in the future, so they're kind of saving and hoarding, which can be positive or it can be negative if you're too protective and too guarded. Here with the Devil, it's unhealthy energy. It might be financially and materially. You might always find that you are always having to have a tight belt. Perhaps, it's because you don't have a job that pays enough, or you have unhealthy spending patterns. On an emotional level, this can represent a toxic cycle of somebody never wanting to share, whether that's financially, materially, or emotionally. Next, we have the Four of Cups. An offer being made, but somebody reluctant or even unwilling to take it. It's kind of like not saying yes and not saying no. They have 3 cups already full, so they're kind of looking at this 4th one going, yeah, I don't know. With that, we have the Five of Cups: regret, loss, grief, sorrow, apologies. 3 cups are tipped over and spilled out, representing the loss or the regret. Still 2 are upright and full. It's like an offer that isn't good enough. And attached to the Devil and the Four of Coins, it's just more of the same. It's a little bit, but it's not good enough. Whether this is in a personal relationship, love and romance, or some other kind of relationship, or work or job, or even legal situations, it's like what's being offered it's something, but it's not what you wanted. It's not perhaps what you were hoping for or expected. It's not good enough. And it's just more of the same old cycle. Next, we have the Page of Wands. A child, a young person, or messages. Learning. With the Queen of Coins, there you are, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. For some of you, this might be a legal situation or a financial situation around a child or young person. For example, it might be something in regards to like alimony or child support, or if it's not that formal, just perhaps wanting something, because I'm getting this quite specifically for somebody, needing something for your child, and what you're being offered is not enough, or it's not good enough, but it's the same old thing, you know. So from the bottom of the deck, the overall energy and focus is the King of Cups, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus, showing up as a male, but it could be a female. So this is another person that's involved. It's not you. This is another person that's involved in this specifically and directly in the last half of April. So let's clarify. Let's clarify that King of Cups. Judgment, a choice, a life path changing potentially choice, being at a crossroads where a significant choice needs to be made and the outcome will likely be final or long lasting. The Four of Cups again, an offer being made. The Seven of Swords. It's like someone is saying, either themselves or through, like in a legal situation, I can't pay that much money because I don't have that much money, when in fact they do, or they could offer more than they are. It's the same old toxic cycle of not wanting to share, to give out, to give any help, support, practical support, emotional support. But there's a sneakiness behind it, meaning that the reasons they're saying I can't, they could, but the reasons that they're saying they can't aren't really true, at least not to the depth that they're saying them. They just want to keep more for themselves. Clarify the Devil. I mean, this could even be a boss or something. Maybe you're asking for a raise and, you know, or more, and they're saying, okay, we can give you 25 cents an hour more, but we can't give you $1 more an hour because numbers and blah, 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 blah. But it's not really true. Clarify the Devil. The Knight of Swords, the Information Knight. This is the Knight bringing news and conversation. The Five of Cups again, disappointment, regret. Not all is lost. Remember, there's still 2 cups upright and full, but there's 3 tipped over and spilled out. And the Ten of Swords, feeling betrayed, exploited, thrown under the bus, stabbed in the back, seriously disappointed. But it also represents the end of that as well. Clarify the Four of Coins. The Knight of Cups, who's normally the most giving knight. He's the Knight of water, of emotion. He goes charging forth, spilling over with love, support, enthusiasm, here wearing his heart on his sleeve. But this is clarifying the Miser card. So the other person, the other side, again, whether this is personal romance relationship, a friend, a family member, an ex, a judge, a boss, it's needing more, wanting more, but only being offered a tiny little bit, and them using the same excuse for it over and over and over again, whether that's financially, materially, or emotionally, meaning like commitment, or a combination of all of those things. I can't do that. I'm not able to because of this, that. Eight of Wands and the Hermit. This is somebody who wants to go off by themselves, or somebody who's in and out. Like in a love romance relationship, this would be somebody saying, I can't give you all the things that you want. I can give you a little bit, and then they're in and out and in and out and in and out. It's a cycle. It just keeps going on and on and on. Clarify the Four of Cups. The Lovers, yeah, a relationship choice, a relationship at a crossroads, a choice needing to be made. The Five of Wands, again, conflict, internal conflict, external conflict, going around and around the same things. Again, make a decision, make a decision, make a decision. This is what I'm offering. Fish or cut bait, and it just keeps going around and around and around again. Queen of Pentacles and the Hierophant. There you are, Hierophant. It could be marriage, because the Hierophant is conventional energy, institutional energy, things like organized religions, government, justice system, universities, hospitals, marriage, an umbrella under which a large group of people are kind of operating under the same guidelines and policies and doing the same conventional things, right? It's just not enough. Somebody doesn't want to do the thing. Make the commitment. Commit to more. Clarify Five of Cups. I don't even know if I need to, because there's disappointment, regret, and loss, and deep, deep disappointment here. Nine of Wands, being very close to the end of what's been a very difficult journey and burden. Ten of Wands, and there is the end. This is like being at the end of your rope, totally overwhelmed, like I need to let this burden go. The Sun, an uplifting of, okay, but this is all clarifying why you're disappointed. It's like, here's the offer, here's what I'm offering, here's, what you want, you're not getting. You may be getting a little bit, but it's the same old cycle, in and out, back and forth. I can't because of this, I can't because of that. And you're just like really, really close to being at your wit's end here. What you're hearing is not good enough. Clarify the Page. The Page of Wands. The Four of Pentacles. Again, that withholding miser card. The Moon. A lack of certainty. Hidden fears bubbling to the surface. The Page of Wands again. The Eight of Swords. Feeling trapped, held back, like you can't change the situation. The Hanging Man. This is like feeling like you're in suspended animation because of this ongoing cycle that this other person, this other side is. I say side because this is a general reading, so the other person or the other side of this situation could be a personal romance relationship, it could be with an ex, it could be with a legal situation, with a boss. It's like you keep asking or offering, if it's like a personal relationship, over and over and over again, and they keep saying the same things over and over and over again. Here's a little bit, and I can't do more because of this, and I can't do the full commitment thing because of that. And because you need it, or you've made a decision to stay attached in the situation, it keeps you in this this energy of suspended animation, which will likely continue until you, particularly in a personal romance relationship or a relationship with another person that it's your choice to be in that relationship, this kind of energy will probably continue until you say, I'm out, right? Because it's like you're waiting for the other person to do something to make you feel happy and complete, whereas it feels like this other person isn't going to do that. And so what you see as your ideal situation is not going to come from this person. That's what it feels like to me. You can choose to continue to stay in it and continue investing your own self in it, free will, free agency. But it's going to keep you in this sense of trapped, suspended animation, you know. Because it never comes to the conclusion that you want. And it's difficult. I think most of us, if not all of us, have been in either a situation like this or similar to this in different areas of our life too. And usually the change comes from us. We have to be the one to initiate saying, you know what, I'm done. But sometimes it takes a long time for some of us to get to that point. And during that time, life is passing, right? All right, I'm going to leave it there. And let's ask Spirit for any final messages or guidance and advice for Taurus for the last 2 weeks of April. Strength, facing fears, doubts, insecurities, perhaps also looking at the part that you've had to play in this situation and being in this situation. The Four of Swords, the Nine of Pentacles. The Four of Swords represents taking a step back, even a temporary step back, rest, recuperation, recovery, gaining a different perspective, because a little bit of time to heal and gain a different perspective can make all the difference. The Nine of Pentacles, focusing on your own independence, self-value, self-worth, empowerment, your own security financially, materially, and emotionally, taking care of yourself, making sure you're taking better care of yourself. Death and the Tower and the Fool. Holy cow. We're looking at advice and guidance from Spirit, and this is really clear. These are both cards of major endings, absolute endings. Death and the Tower, because they represent complete change, complete breakdown, the endings of something, utter transformation so that you can begin a brand new path. Sometimes, often, they can be very challenging because that change comes almost as a way of forced change, meaning that some event comes in unexpectedly, which we can't do anything about, that changes our life. And what we're left with is how we choose to deal with it. Now, the key to understanding and utilizing the energies of profound major arcana cards like that, utilizing meaning, how do I make this work to my best benefit, or how do I get through this, you know, in the least difficult way possible? It's by understanding that, one, we can't do anything about it, which means that there is divine timing and orchestration behind it. Even if you can't see the reason for it at the time, there is a reason why this tower that's built out of bricks that you thought you were going to live in for forever, solid, stable, reliable, is being hit by lightning and destroyed. You can see the man falling out of the tower completely naked, which underscores the unexpectedness of it and the vulnerability of it. And whether you know it or not, this tower needed to come down because there was a fundamental flaw in it somewhere. So this is endings so that complete transformation can begin. Let it end. Let it go. Let it crumble. Let it go. Why? Because this is what's on the other side of it. The Fool. He has the 0 on his card because it's the very first major arcana card in the tarot. This is where a whole new aspect of life begins, a whole new chapter of life begins, a new book of life even. This is a new, brand new journey, a different landscape full of different options and opportunities. It's stepping outside of your comfort zone and taking a risk, which is never comfortable. It can sometimes be exciting, nerve-wracking, frightening, out of our comfort zone, out of our skill level, but it's a new beginning nonetheless. It's like Spirit is saying, look, this has to happen. Let it happen. Let it go. They're going to be there with you the whole way, and move through that. It's the best way to move through this kind of, very, very challenging change energy is by not resisting it. But free will, free agency. I mean, it's difficult. It's challenging. I know this. We all know this. We've all been through Well, I think the majority of human beings have been through experiences like this at least once, and God bless the ones that haven't. But most of us have, so. Okay, I think I'm just going to leave it there, Taurus. I hope that while this may not have been one of those, riches and rainbow and skittles and unicorns kind of reading, I hope that it has been helpful and useful. It's very difficult to go through situations which are causing chaos in our life, endings in our life, particularly if they're unsolicited and we didn't want them. But the more that we fight and resist them, the more difficult it is and the longer that process gets. Spirit is strongly suggesting, well, they're not even suggesting, towering the death. They're just saying, let it burn, let it go, because there's a new beginning on the other side of that. And we want to get you to that new beginning as soon as possible. So free will, free agency. But the thing to focus on is that Fool card, that new beginning. It's a whole new life starting and the opportunity for that. So the quicker you can move through this energy, the better. So I hope in that sense it's been useful and positive for you, Taurus. Again, if any of this resonates with you enough that you'd like to, take a deeper dive, take a deeper look at something for yourself or as a gift for someone else, feel free to contact me directly at Maggie1McGuire@gmail.com. I'd be delighted to hear from you. You can also get that contact info by clicking the description link, the little arrow attached to this video. I will see all of you in a couple of weeks for the May, can you believe it's almost mid-year, for the May general readings. Until then, stay safe and well. I hope to see you back here again soon. Bye-bye.